Okay, hey everybody, Wing Chun DC here again. Today I wanted to do a quick video on the Chum Kiu shift. Now this is something that I've been really experimenting with myself over the past couple of months. And I didn't really fully understand it until quite recently, about exactly what you're doing when you're shifting. And I think some people look at it as, you know, it's just, if you look down at my feet, it's just footwork like this, right? You're shifting from one side to the other, so you punch like this, okay? I have come to think of it now as a way of training your hips, right? As a way to essentially lock your hips up and release them so that you can root and generate power, okay? I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. If you want to, oh, you on my feet? Okay. So from here, I'm rooting on this side, okay? And I punch out, okay? And now I'm going to shift and root to the other side using the Chum Kiu shift. Now, I turn my one foot in here. So I've got, I never want to have 2 points on the floor. So I've got 4 points on, you know, my heel, the ball, and the ball of my foot, right? That's 2 points on each foot. So that's 4 points that I've got on the floor. 4 connection points to the floor. Now, if I only have 2 connection points to the floor like that, if I shift like this, right? This is problematic, right? Because then if someone's a grappler, if a grappler comes towards me and pushes me, and I Chum Kiu shift like this, I'm going to get taken down. So I always want to have at least 3 points on the floor. So 2 points, 2 points. I lift this foot up here. Now I have 3 points, okay? Back to 4. Then I shift, I root on this side. I open this foot up, 3 points, 3 points, 4 points. Right, then I've made the shift. 3 points, 4 points, 3 points, 4 points, okay? So that's how you shift, right? And there's a couple of reasons we do that. Yeah, number one is so that you're always connected to the floor. Number two, it's a way of essentially, imagine the hip is like an elastic band, right? And you want it to kind of, in Wing Chun, everything is about the hip movement, okay? Using the hip as a leverage point to drive the elbow. So you use the hip, drive the elbow to force the punch, okay? And then your heel is on the floor. So we want to get very good at using the hip to do all of the work for us on Wing Chun. The Chum Kiu shift teaches us how to do that shift correctly, right? So if I'm on this side, my root is to the left here, and I want to Chum Kiu shift to the other side. When I turn my foot in like this, I create a huge amount of tension. Okay, here I lock my hip up. So if I try to punch now from this, if I try to use my hip now, I have no ability to use my hip, right? It's kind of coiled up. I start to root onto my right side, okay? Now it starts to get even more comfortable and the tension is really quite extreme, right? My hip really wants to release. This hip wants to come forward. When I turn this foot, the hip shoots out, okay? At the same time as the punch. If I shift the other way, the same thing happens, right? I've got this hip wants to shoot forward, but it can't because my foot is blocking it. I let the foot go, the hip pops out. So when you Chum Kiu shift, what you're doing is releasing, you're coiling the hip and you're releasing. And that's now really kind of changed the way that I think about how you apply it in Chi Sao, how you generate power, and also how you train the hip. Think of the Chum Kiu shift as a way of literally training your hip to coil. Training your hip to coil and release. Training your hip and release. But it's not, you don't go for the quick fix when you're doing 2 points, you pull your toes up and switch like that. Okay, so if you have any questions, drop your comments in below, and I'll get to them next time. Thank you very much.